Hello! Welcome back to yet another episode of Breaking News. Breaking YouTube news. More hysterics, more hysterical hysteria from the likes of myself right here on my own YouTube channel. So welcome. My name is Itsjustrobby, and I'm going to be your host for the next several minutes. I just wanted to pop in and finish my video from yesterday because yesterday my battery died on my camera, and it was not a complete video, and I didn't get to finish what I wanted to talk about, which was the quote-unquote $200 Jimberly owes me for the procurement of his videos. So, as I may have mentioned in the video previously, when Jim and X got banned on YouTube, I had all of the YouTube, all of their, well, Jim's main channel, Jim Terry TV's YouTube channel, Premium Plus and, you know, regular subscription videos, and videos that had been edited together and uploaded to, like, just like the videos tab on their YouTube. Like, I had a script go ahead and just download everything. Now, the thing about that was said script that downloaded everything, we got everything right up till maybe 6 days before the YouTube ban. There was something like where I had to manually run it in order to get like an updated cache of like the newest things, and so I had to manually do it anyways, long story long, I had pretty much everything though. So after I trimmed the library down, you know, it's like, I don't know, 150 or so episodes of Jim Terry TV, YouTube channel videos, live streams. That's mainly where all the meat and potatoes is all of our live streams that we were on the show. That's what I mean by all of the streams in which we were featured and participate. I have them all. You know what I mean? I've got them all. So one of my main questions, by the way, since I kind of have everybody's attention here, I guess one of my main questions is, you know, they've had their OTT platform for 6 months. You know, they've talked about it time and time again, very repetitively. And I mean, I haven't had it since like the first month. I only paid for 1 month of it. I was like, yeah, no thanks. But what I have heard is that there's some videos on the OTT, but not all the videos, right? So some videos made it to OTT platform from the cache that is in question here, the video cache that is in question. I'd say it's anywhere from like, I don't know, it's probably like 150 to 180 video files that are good. I think it was overall like 240 files, but when I went through it, there was a lot of duplicates. Like I had somehow accidentally downloaded it twice or something, you know? Anyway, so long story freaking long, right? Since I'm always dragging these stories on. You know, we went our separate ways and whatever, and it was there right when like I had really kind of initially kind of split up and just like, well, whatever, they've got their own thing, I don't want to be a part of it or whatever the hell. They both contact me. Well, first Jim contacts me and X contacts me. It's like a two-way call. So the last conversation that he says he had with me was when my dad was on the phone. That wasn't it. Like the last conversation we had was after that conversation, which it was not a weird conversation. We were just simply talking to my dad, telling him about the case that was going on where my dad lives, regarding salty pancakes and whatever. So we were, you know, basically in order to prove that I was still a good friend and would utilize my resources, you know, I kind of got my dad involved a little bit, which ultimately was neither really here nor there. I mean, my dad found out some information regarding what's going on, but, you know, neither here nor there. There's not, I mean, it's kind of a nothing burger, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, it's weird that he's brought it up several times, but no, that wasn't the last time that, you know, I reached out to him, or we had spoken. You know, he is right about the text message. I did send a meme, a South Park meme to him, because I find Matt Stone and Trey Parker to be transcendently hilarious. Like, I think they're great. And I sent him a meme, you know, so sue me. What you gonna do, Brenda? Sue me? Anyways, I sent him a meme because they are Hollywood. They made it in Hollywood. They're actually outside of the main Hollywood mainstream sphere, right? So, you know, they've offended obviously everybody. You know, I'm sure that I thought that maybe Jim and X would be able to relate to Matt and Trey, and you know, I just thought, because I love South Park. I don't know, that's all it was, and I thought that X was my friend. I thought that Mark was my friend, really. So, you know, in order to show that I'm still friends with these guys, I don't care that they've gone on to their own, you know, work with their own partners and their own friends that they know in real life or whatever on their OTT platform. They really only wanted me to run a Doxting Hall of Fame website in which they could showcase the people that they disliked, had disagreements with, and wanted to pick on, for lack of a better description of it. They were basically weaponizing, you know, my capabilities in building a website. And it's like, you know, which X is right. You know, X, you proved that you can build a website. Go do it again then, right? If you are so good at creating OTT platforms and creating and producing and whatever, you know, you did it before, do it again. Go build the Doxing Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how to do it so it doesn't get taken down. Let's see if you're smart enough to do that. Without paying somebody, too, by the way. Anyways. And you can do things for people for free, by the way. It's called being a friend and leveraging your professional skill sets to help a friend in need. To be honest, still to this day, and Bob will back me up, I have not asked for him to pay me. I've offered my support for free. I'm very graciously happy to take payment and record an invoice for tech support. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to help him. You know, we're kind of he's my friend. I help my friends. There's nothing, I obviously I can't extend my help to everybody, otherwise I'd be, and I've ran into that before where, you know, I'm constantly being inundated by tech support requests by everybody that you could think of. And that's I'm sorry guys, I love you. That's not what I'm here for. But in Bob's situation, where when, you know, we've established a friendship, he said, hey Robbie, I'm trying to get this stream project off the ground for, you know, keeping the Dylan Rounds case alive. Hey Bob, I'm right here with you. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff like makes a lot of sense. Let's get some time on the schedule. Let's take care of it. And then the other thing is too, is that, you know, I'm just gonna leave that there. So, and I appreciate Bob for being flexible with me on when I can work with him, you know. So that's the other thing with being in different, you know, time zones. It's not like he can just order me up and I can come over and help him work on his computer, or he can just bring it down to the store, you know what I mean? So it's a little different, just doing everything remotely, which is fine. I'm, you know, happy to work that way. But anyways, I'm getting off into the weeds. So back to Jim and X calling me. So the last conversation I remember having was, we weren't really in like a bad rapport like not like a terrible rapport. Just no longer really, you know, like I wasn't gonna pay for the OTT platform. I wasn't gonna go on there. I wasn't gonna really be a part of their show. They, you know, made it clear that they didn't really want, you know, all that. Basically, they made it clear that they were going with their own friend that they knew and wanted to build their own business elsewhere, and they didn't really want me to be a part of it. Now, in order for, again, I don't know why X didn't put all of the videos from the YouTube up on their OTT platform, because I gave them all the videos. If it were me, I would put them all up there. Like, it just makes no sense that they're not all up there. Like, you know, apparently a lot of people want, you know, to see, you know, a lot of the episodes. You know, there's different aspects of different episodes that people want to check out. You know, different episodes are cool for different reasons to different people. And here people are paying $30 a month and being limited as to what episodes they can and cannot get, or what content from the library they can and cannot get. It's just bizarre to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like a bad deal, and it's just bizarre. So I say that to say this. If they went out of their way to get, and I want to reiterate, when they got banned on YouTube, the only person who owned any copies of any of the videos from the YouTube channel was me. They may have had like that stream, like we could probably argue on that last week, 2 weeks worth of content. I don't know how, it doesn't seem like he had that much in StreamYard, to be honest with you. So, and I mean, if we look at the actual metadata on each file, I can prove that I have the originals when they were downloaded directly from the YouTube server, and they reached out to me to get copies of the entire library, which I had already helped X do, you know, again with these guys, and repeating the same work over and over again. Oh my God. So all of a sudden he wants copies of everything again, and I'm like, well, don't you already have a copy of everything? Yeah, but you know, I'm missing a few things, and I'm wondering if you could host it again. Like, you know, you had it up on, you know, before, and you took it all down. Is there any way that you could host it again? And I go, sure, for a price. You know, it's going to take me, I don't know, 3 hours. You know, I arrived at the $150 hourly price tag by simply I've arrived at the $150 hourly price tag by simply that's how much I make in a loan signing, and it takes me about an hour. That's at least how much I make on a notary appointment when I book one and they need me to show up at a hospital and help them do 3 notarizations on a trust or a will or whatever the heck it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just like that is kind of like what my rate is to do stuff. So that's where I arrived at that. And then, you know, I told him it'll take me probably at least like 2 or 3 hours. So let's put it at 3, because it's probably gonna take me 3 hours to do exactly what you guys are asking me to do, which is upload the entire library of yours of mine, because they're my copies of my videos at this point, of your content from your banned YouTube channel, right? And if you look at the YouTube terms and conditions, it's kind of a gray area as to, let's just go ahead and say, yeah, it's not exactly clear. I can tell you this. Jim doesn't necessarily own those videos. I mean, they can say that they do. They can say anything. They say a lot of stuff. They say Jim doesn't have a kid. They say just all kinds of stuff. So like, I mean, honestly, like, they could say anything. But the fact of the matter is, all of the videos from their now banned YouTube channel, which Mark has been cited multiple times saying, thanks for Robbie downloading all of the videos and giving us all our library back because we got banned unexpectedly. And by the way, Mark, I'm glad I didn't get yours too. Like back when this happened, I was like, man, it sucks that I didn't grab all of Mr. X's and back up his channel too. That really sucks. Like I'm like a failure as a tech guy. No, I'm not, because you know what? You guys wouldn't even have any videos if it weren't for me. You wouldn't have any of your original videos from your now banned YouTube channel if it weren't for me. So you're welcome for me giving you copies to download and keep. You're welcome. Of my originals that I archived for you, that I backed up and archived right from the YouTube server, just in case. You know what I mean? So you're welcome. I haven't done anything with those because it's like, you know, I just don't care. But God, you really know how to, like, I don't know, piss people off in such a way that it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and speculate and get into the weeds any more further on this particular subject. I just wanted to get in there that, you know, it's pretty clear what's taken place. These matters are documented in such a way that you can't really refute them. As in, I have proof showing that it was my computer that downloaded the originals. The metadata was generated from that source, right? I have the ability to prove that very easily. So I guess end of conversation there, at least in my mind. And okay, so end of conversation there. All I wanted was the $200 that they said that they would give me when they called me and said, hey, how much? It was actually 2 calls. The first call was them both going, how long would it take you? 3 hours at $150 an hour. I know they've got the money. They can pay for it. It's obviously worth it to them. I would pay probably $1,000 for it if it were my content. So I felt like I was giving them a deal. And I mean, that's just my rate. It's how much it costs. They made it clear we weren't friends, and I wasn't getting, you know, they weren't doing me any favors, and they didn't want me to do them any favors. They didn't want, you know, me to help them with their OTT platform, and they went with, you know, their friend. I don't know how good of a friend that person is, because they are getting billed through the frickin' nose. They're keeping that company alive. That's why they are so hard pressed to get more creators to come to their little, I don't even want to call it a platform, to their show, to their channel on Indavo Media, right? So they want what they had, but they're not going to get it. Sorry guys, you've ran everybody OFFT. Since you guys like acronyms and spelling things. So yeah, so that's what's going on. They never paid me the $200 after Jim called me and said, so yeah, so they both called me and said, how much will it cost? And they're like, no, we don't want you to do anything. Don't worry about it. And that was basically X going, hold off, let me see what I have. Like, let me grab a quick inventory and see what I have. Confirm that I know that I'm missing some stuff, right? Confirm that I know that I'm missing some stuff. And then after I know that I'm missing some stuff and I know what stuff I'm missing, then what I will go ahead and do is they will contact me the next day or over the next couple days, or a couple days later. The next time I hear from them, it's Jim. He calls me and says, hey, how are ya? So look, me and X, and at the end, let me be clear, at the end of the conversation, after I quoted that astronomical amount, and I could tell that they were like hemming and hawing, I thought about some shortcuts I could use, and I thought about giving the most cheapest rate I could give them for this, $200. Said, look, I could do it for $200, let me know. And that's how the conversation ended. And it was with both of them. Well, the next freaking day, or not the next day, but the next time I hear from, it's just Jim on the line, and he goes, hey, so, hey, check out this car accident. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see that here. Wow. So that's why we're waiting in traffic so bad for so long. Because that car flipped. Well, the lady that was in the SUV next to me for a good portion of that traffic sit, it looks like he, or at least one of the guys, the lady was praying. So for her, you know, good to know at least the one guy looks like he's possibly gonna be walking around right now. He's just shaking up, it looks like. Anyways, so back to where I was. So Jim hits me up, he gets in contact with me and goes, hey, you know, I think it'll be, you know, I've been doing something, it's worth the $200 to get all the videos. What he was trying to do, and I'm not stupid, is he was trying to like, hey, lure me back in, come do what I want you to do, come be my henchman again, and then yeah, I'll pay you the $200 for the work you did. But that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want to go be the henchman. I just wanted to get paid for the work that I did, giving them their video, the extra videos that X needed or whatever. That's all. Literally, that's all. And when I didn't do, see, that's the thing, is when you don't do what Jim wants you to do, he throws a tantrum. So instead of paying me, instead of, I don't know, like, how do you, I don't really know how to put it, like, instead of like backing off, if it were me, I would have paid the person. I would have been like, hey, here is your payment. I'm sorry that things haven't worked out entirely. I was hoping maybe we could be on the mend here and possibly work together moving forward in some other different projects and areas. But here's your payment and thanks for your hard work. That would have been fine. That would have been fine. But they didn't do that. The next I heard was Mark on a stream saying, well, we're not clicking links from Robbie. Jim and Mark said, we're not clicking links from Robbie. Well, they had to click links from me, because how did Mark get the remaining whatever videos that he was missing from the overall, you know, entire library? You know what I mean? So, funny story about that. The way I set it up to distribute the entire library, like there's two ways to distribute all of the files. You can either put them on the server side of the CDN that does like streaming and encoding and stuff, or you could put it on the the storage side, which just stores the file and it just serves the purpose of storing the file. You don't need to stream and encode it to download a copy, so you just need to store it. But I had a feeling they weren't going to pay me because, you know, let's face it, the track record, kind of not so great. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it is what it is. So, had a feeling, wasn't going to get paid. Instead of, because I knew Mark had to do this the hard way, because he did it the hard way previously when I did it, set it up for him. Maybe that's why he didn't have all of them. That's because you had to download them one by one, the way that you do it through the streaming side, where it has the streaming and encoding, which is where the videos were living. Sorry. Look! It's the city! So, streaming and encoding side of it is where he had to download each file one by one from, and I mean, it must have taken him at least, I mean, it had to be, I mean, depending on how many videos that he needed, and I mean, I don't know how fast he is on the computer. I mean, I know he's not intelligent enough to like automate the entire process for himself. I don't know. Long story longer, because I keep making this entirely way longer than it needs to be because there's so many details. I upload all their videos. I only spend about an hour's worth of work. Like I said, I figured out how could I do some shortcuts, make it to where I'm not working, you know, work smarter, not harder. Kind of like what I was just talking about. How can I automate this task for myself? So I did. And I sent Jim a Cash App requests for the $200 that he just said he would pay me if I would give them the remainder of their videos. So I did that. I said, here's the $200 request, pay me. Because I know they're not gonna just pay me like unless I ask for it. And like I said, the next thing I hear is them talking on somebody's stream on YouTube saying how they're not clicking any links from me. I'm Johnny Mnemonic, and they can't click a link from me because they're gonna get a virus, and I'm out to get them and ruin their, you know, OTT and whatever. When at this point, like I said, I just don't care. I have other stuff to do, and I've already wasted enough time on this platform or on these particular people. Guys, I keep having to take the camera off because there's so much cool stuff to look at. These clouds look like penises, and I have to show you. See, look at it. Look at these big penis clouds. Here, they're coming by. So as these big penis clouds come on by, wow, look at them. They're two giant penises right there. That's nice. That's good. That looks like traffic's moving finally. So, yeah. Wow, Robbie. Back to what I was talking about with the situation as it stands. As it stands, understandably so. Because it is a situation for sure. Alright, it's a real shitty situation. And it's thang. Anyway, so he never paid me, right? And they got their videos, and then they're slandering me with, you know, on Bob's channel or on Twin Mom or whoever it was at the time, on their wherever. And I just remember hearing them say, like, he called me Johnny Mnemonic, and he said that they're not clicking on any links. Well, it's really funny how in order to get any of those videos, guess what, guys? They had to click a link from me. They did. It's not like those videos just like materialized out of thin air into their possession, okay? They had to click a link. There's just no other way that those videos would have gotten into their hands. So, I mean, unless X had a couple, I mean, I think he had a couple of them from before. Anyways, so it's just bullshit. It's just whatever they feel like saying to people to make themselves look a certain way. It really is the art of bullshit. Now, you know, I am in, as Mark has pointed out, I'm like 37, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm 37, and, you know, okay, I've been on the earth for a little while here, you know, sure, sparkles. I have been. You right. But, even though I've been on the earth for a little while, gonna be honest with you, I give everybody, and yeah, and I know better, but like I give everybody, this is how I operate because it's easier for me to operate this way. It's definitely comes at a cost, but it's easier for me to operate this way. I give everybody a fair shake. And if you mess that up, then that's on you. You know, I go about my life and try to live my life in a way that I can be proud of. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. Have I tried my best to make amends for those? Mostly. Am I still working on it? Sure. But that's a lot more to say for myself than what I could see in those two. So I've thought about making some more of these response videos, obviously since yesterday, and then before that I thought about making some explanation videos. And part of the reason I didn't is because I only want to talk about those two people. Or address those two people. You know, there's other people in the periphery of them. There's orbiters that they have. You know, there's definitely a few bad actors out there, right? But as we approach the new year and, you know, really want to give everybody a fair shake, you know. Hell, I would have even given them a fair shake, but they didn't. It's in their approach. They're not apologetic for the wrongs that they've ever done to anybody, not just me personally. They don't. They're not positive in any kind of way. There's like I mean to say, like, there's no nothing like positive. There's no positive energy. There's nothing good that can come from me having them in my life. So that's why it is to say that, you know, that's why they're the two people I feel comfortable like just shitting on, or not necessarily shitting on, because I don't want to be that person. And that's the other thing, right? They drag people down to their level. You know, it's like when you have a significant other that always triggers you in the worst type of way and like makes you just a nasty person that you know that you don't want to be. That's like what being in cahoots with Jim and Mark is like. You know, they bring you down and devolve you into being a nastier person, and you don't really notice until you're like, oh my god, why am I laughing at that? That's not even funny, that's mean. You know, so obviously we're intelligent enough to know what's mean-spirited and what's funny. I think the biggest blind spot for me personally is the group mentality, right? And that's why Jim wants the numbers. He wants the powwow. He wants the people. He wants the circle jerk. He wants to be popular. Well, Jim, you're popular, sure. I wouldn't say that you're famous. I'd say that you're infamous. So, you know, I mean, take that for what it's worth. I don't know if you would want to be infamous. I don't know if anybody would truly want to be infamous, but I mean, there you go. I think that you're infamous. I don't think that you're famous. I think that, I mean, I don't know enough about the circles Mark runs in, but I know at least on YouTube, he's infamous. I mean, he doesn't even have a YouTube channel, and if he does, he's ban evading, so there's that. But, you know, so there's a difference between being famous and infamous. So I'm sure that Mark will do a diatribe, come out with a couple snap judgments based out of thin air speculation. Anyway, so yeah, so they didn't pay me the $200. They got all their videos. It's really annoying because instead of just saying, so like, you know, like when me and Bob had our falling out, right? Like, you know, I kind of thought about making, you know, a video and saying what I said in my previous video, which I think the people harassing and using Bob's Messenger, I wouldn't put it past Jim and Eggs to do that kind of behavior, because if they're under Bob's name, they're not accountable. They're not going to get in trouble for it. That's their MO. That's what they do to people. If they can do some egregious crap and then you take the fall for it, that's their goal. They want to screw you over so that they can win. So that's the whole thing. Kind of reminds you of something else, doesn't it? Like, I don't know, why don't you make a website, Robbie, for people that we don't like, so that if there's any problems that come from it, we're not legally liable for it. It's ridiculous. So stupid. I feel stupid because I thought that they were my friends. Luckily, I was able to refocus my energies elsewhere, and it's been super worthwhile. Like, I don't honestly understand why all these months later, you know, stupid stuff about me gets said still, and I feel like it's just unnecessary. You know, if me and Bob want to make amends, great. You should be glad that Bob's not losing all of his friends right when he goes into surgery and could use like real friends, because you guys aren't anybody's real friends. You're not going to be there for you're mad because Bob isn't going to let you make content out of his surgery. If you guys had it your way, Jim would be there with the freaking camera and a video encoder and a LTE modem streaming live from the scene as the doctor's going in. Jim would go online and make sure whatever endoscope they're using is RTMP compatible so that we can see inside of Bob somehow. Like, that's literally, they don't care about you guys. Bob, everybody, me, everybody, they just don't. And I've thought a lot about it, and I do think that they obviously do care about themselves. They're really into money. It just sucks. I don't know. I would just steer clear. If there's anybody else that's still messing with them, God bless you and good luck until it's your turn for them to find that you are no longer. And I remember when Mark said this about guidance. Right after she left, and, you know, I was still obviously friends with them, and, you know, it was after guidance and I had words, and then things kind of spiraled from there with her and them for whatever reasons. You know, well, on a conversation with Mr. X one time, he says, well, I've already got what I want out of her anyways. I've already used her for what I want anyways. Which apparently was, you know, he said she served her purpose. I've learned everything I need from her. You know, and since there has been a lot of time to transpire, to think about everything, that's what Mark does. He sees that's what he's an actor. He emulates other people that he sees. Sometimes he does it well. You know what I mean? That's why he wants to be a jack of all trades. I still don't think he's a professional. He can label himself whatever he wants. I still don't think he's a professional after how he's treated me. That's why he wears a mask. Because in the professional world, you can't treat people like he treats people, and it will catch up to you. Unfortunately for him and Jim, the veil between the real world and the online world is just about as thin as the pantyhose, second skin that he wears on his face, right? You can polish a turd, still the same turd. So there's that. So they owe me the $200, and the way I thought of it was like, hey, they pay me the $200. Seems like that's a pretty fair price to me. Like, I feel like at least they paid me something for their videos. Like, that's kind of the way I thought about it overall. But they didn't. They burned me. They didn't pay me, and instead of that, paying me, and they started trashing me, saying all kinds of bad stuff about me, and then also the narrative about me hacking Bob. I don't even think Bob came up with that. I think they came up with that and suggested it, and I think that in conversation while trying to figure out what Bob and I had talked about for 5 hours, because that's what they do. They call and they try to figure out what you are talking about with other members of the community, which Bob and I were working on his computer shit for 5 hours. Pretty interesting, huh? That after I helped go ahead and dissect granularly what was going on there and showing Bob granularly what was going on there, right? Pretty interesting how the people that I think that were using these accounts to harass victims' family members, aka Jim and X, all of a sudden get on the phone with Bob, and all of a sudden it suggested that I'm the person with the axe to grind against one of the Candaces, and I'm the person who blah 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 blah. No, No. I definitely, I don't know, and I'm sorry that if it hasn't been said publicly enough or publicly before. I've already apologized behind the scenes to Candace and Tabor and anybody else I put on that website on their behalf. Like, I apologize. I thought I was helping friends, and to be honest, I was really stupid. And there's been a lot of really stupid things that I've had to learn that, you know, obviously I'm not thrilled about, and that is one of them. So anyways, it wasn't me who was messaging on Facebook, and I don't understand how that could even make any sense, except for the one time that when I was in cahoots with the gang and I was being defensive of the gang, I made some comments towards Tabor. Like, I said he was hot, you know, or something. Like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean what I said. Well, I mean, I don't know, a spade is a spade, but, you know, kid has the problems, it sounds like. I hope everybody's life and situation improves, God willing, for what it's worth, except for the two people I keep circling back on in this video that only care about themselves. And so, like I was going to say yesterday in my video about, it's too bad that my values didn't rub off on them, you know, a little bit more as it pertains to honoring your friendships and paying people for their work and honoring your friendships. I don't know, I really can't drive that home enough, like, especially when I was so loyal on the internet when it comes to these flash pan moments, right? Like, which what happened with Jim's channel. It was really a flash pan moment in the beginning. And okay, so I kind of trailed off, got into a diatribe myself, so I'll be sure to edit that out. But long story long, they basically took the videos that they needed, downloaded what they needed. Like I said, I made it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more time consuming to download each one by one, instead of just hosting it in the storage portion of the CDN. I put it in the streaming encoding portion, so it was probably more tedious than it needed to be. So anyways, other than that, I would never say anything about their content, because it is their videos. It is they made it. He produced it. It came from their cameras, their shitty cameras, their shitty equipment. It came from them, right? But let me ask this fundamental fucking question to the audience and to you two dimwits. Did you or did you not download a copy of my original video download from your YouTube channel? Did you have an original that I downloaded? And then did you download a copy of that? No. I had the originals. They didn't exist anywhere else. Call it the master copy, if you will. In the United States, possession is 9/10 of the what, everybody? The law. I did you a favor. I was happy to take $200, which was definitely less than what was owed and what was deserved, in my opinion, for the amount of time and energy. I mean, like I said, I would have paid $1,000 for that library if it were mine. I mean, how much? It's your stuff. It's how much is it worth to you? But that's the thing, is that you guys value money above all else, above relationships, above everything. You value wealth. It's insane. Anyways, that's pretty much all I had to say about all of that. And I'm sorry I didn't add that in yesterday. And thank you guys if you stayed for the whole thing and you heard it all. That's awesome. But that's basically what happened. And yeah, that's it. So I'll go ahead and edit this together, make sure that it's all good to go, and we'll get it up on the YouTubes. I'm kind of excited because the wreck that we passed a little while ago, this is recording it in a higher resolution, so after it gets done processing on YouTube, we should be able to upscale the resolution and get really good view of that wreck, hopefully, in theory. So we'll find out. I will see you guys around, definitely in the chat for the premiere of this video, and definitely around in the various community chats and stuff that, you know, we all frequent. So I hope you guys are having an awesome Saturday, because y'all deserve it, and heart you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.